This is Christoph Yalik.
This is Just Janet.
And this is K. Collie.
And this is
the Just Nuggets Podcast.
And live from the number one seed in the West, it's Kyle Collie, it's Chris Kadoff Collie, and Just Janet. And this is the Just Nuggets Podcast.
Yes.
Nuggets still number one in the West. How's everyone doing?
We're great. I'm doing good. Hey.
If anytime it's late January and your team everyone's looking up at your team, how can you not be great? You know, even if you got injuries and all that stuff going on, like you are still numero uno.
I'm very excited to get closer to the All-Star break. I think our team needs it. Yeah. As well as we've been playing. We went on a 9-game winning streak. Dropped 2 of the last 3. Mm-hmm. But as far as how we've been playing, it's been really well. But I think that break will be good for some people. Even though it seems like now we may be have a lot of people in the games. I heard I know we were gonna start with some recap of the game, but Joker did become an All-Star this year once again, which is cool. And so we're gonna have some participants. Mike Malone's gonna be there. So we're excited. I know I kind of started early, but I'm just excited to see that there's a chance that we have Mike Malone as the head coach and Nikola Jokic as the starter. But let's get into some this week's Nuggets before we get into some of the All-Star. And I guess we can start with the Bucks. And I would say, even though we didn't end up get the result that we wanted, we saw some good play out of some players. Yes. Whether it's Christian Braun getting the start first. I think it was his first time starting.
No, I think he started earlier.
He started one more time.
He started.
Okay. It was pretty early. It was earlier.
Yeah.
So one of his I guess his second start, maybe third start. Yeah. So this year, he played good minutes. Bones was back. He played all right. I just don't think, obviously, when you're playing against a team that's won a championship in the last few years, it's going to be hard to beat them when you don't have Jamal, Nikola Jokic, MPJ.
I think KCP was out.
KCP was so you didn't have 4 starters.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
Yeah, they were missing Middleton, but.
Well, I thought I saw him out.
Probably
he doesn't play.
Dressed up.
Okay. I just think that they had to bring Giannis back in the 4th to make sure they got that done. And he was playing to almost the end. So
and he got banged up a little bit on that play with Bruce Brown.
Yeah,
he kind of got tripped up and
he did.
Landed awkwardly. So he went out, and then the Nuggets made a run. But in that game, there was a few, couple missed opportunities that would have been a different game. They couldn't. They just seemed like they couldn't get below 6 when they in that crunch time in the 4th quarter. They missed a big 3. They missed some free throws on that and one play.
Bruce Brown got the and one. He missed the free throw, which would have put us down by 5. And then they go back down, and I think Giannis gets it into the corner to Joe Ingles. He hits it, makes it an 8-point game.
That was a dagger.
But I think from what it showed was it doesn't matter who's on the court.
Right.
And I know there's been time. Mike Malone, I will say, he knows how to rally troops when there's no reason for us to win games. I remember that one time. I forget the one where they're sitting on the plane and it's only like 8 players. Yeah, only 8 players and they won the game. So I don't think it matters. It does matter for longevity who's on the court, but in those moments, it's next man up when it comes to that Nuggets team. And I think you saw AG take a leadership role in that game, as well as a few other players that really stepped up, like Bruce Brown, like how we've mentioned. Yeah. But it was just a tough game. Yeah. But one game that was interesting was the Pelicans game, the game before that. We got out to a big lead. And basically, after getting out to a big lead, we were, I don't know what happened to the offense in that second half, but we were fishing for air, I guess.
I think it's 2 things. Either you get up big and then you let down a little bit, which I hope they didn't do, but then also the other people get paid too on that other side, and they feel embarrassed.
They're also a top team too.
And they're top team. Yeah, number 3 in the West. And so they got, talked to pretty good, and they came out ready to go.
Well, they've dropped a little bit. I don't think they're third in the West anymore, but they're still a solid team.
Yes, they're very much so up there.
And every time we play the Pelicans, Alvarez is his name, right? The point guard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He always wants to show that he is a great basketball player when he plays against us. And I think it was another night of him going off a little bit. And I don't know if it's Nuggets just not preparing for him, or does he get up for a game?
I just think he's scrappy because when I think of him, the first thing I think of is that little, the run up behind you, the wolf play when he steals the ball when you're bringing it up. And then I also think of him getting under like Devin Booker and Chris Paul's skin in that series. Yeah. He's just kind of that scrappy guy. Yeah. He's been like that. I believe he's a Georgia Tech guy, ACC player. Yeah. He's kind of got that. So like, the Nuggets have problems with him, but we're not alone in that fact. Yeah. I think he's a great player. And he's one of those players that like are, they just kind of get under your skin. They're chippy. Kind of where Christian Brown is becoming for the Nuggets. I would say he's a little bit more in your face about this scrappiness. Which is awesome. It's cool to watch him develop, and I guess if you want to find a gray within this little period of them not being fully healthy, is that you mentioned it earlier, but he's getting playing time. Zeke Naj is getting playing time. Yeah. Bones is getting playing time, but he's kind of banged up and he's battling through what it is, and he just doesn't have that life right now. Yeah. But, that comes and goes throughout the season. Oh, yeah. And he's still, and if you look at the collective body of his work thus far this season, he's playing exceptionally well. He is. Back to the Pelicans, though. They were the 3 seed for a lot. They're the 4 seed. They're 2-8, and they've lost the last 6 games.
Sacramento's 3.
Yeah, so if you look at the top of the West, it's kind of funny because the Nuggets, it's only a 1-game losing streak, still 8-2 in their last 10. But Memphis has lost 4 straight. Yes. You have,
but that's a separation right there.
Yeah, Sacramento's still pretty hot right now. Yeah. But they lost their last one, and then, like I just said, the Pelicans lost 6. So, if any of that 5, 6, 7 teams want to make a run, I know this is not Nuggets yet, but, this is a prime time. And the team I'm looking at is a team that we'll see pretty close here coming up next Thursday. The Golden State Warriors, the defending champions. I think you always got to keep an eye out for them, especially since Curry chopped the hair and stuff. You got the short cut again. Yeah. You know what that means.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Other thing when you're looking at the stats from the West, the other thing that was interesting to me, that's a bunch of small market teams that are really up there. Yeah. If you think about the Nuggets,
it's a beautiful thing.
Which is in the NBA's been was hoping for this eventually that small market teams would finally get into the running. Of course they love the big markets. I'm just saying it's cool when a whole league is competitive. There's not that tanking element that people have been asking.
Well, you got Milwaukee just won a championship. They're a small market. Yeah. Toronto's is a very major market, but they're kind of like they're quasi small market in terms of just like recognition within the NBA community. So that they've won once. The NBA's I can't say it's a ton of parity yet, but there's a climate change, what I mean? For 20 years, almost 25 years almost, the West was the West, and now you see that there's a power dynamic building in the East where they have about 5 or 6 teams that are deep, you know what I mean? And they're actually formidable. Where if you look at right now, the Knicks are in the 7th seed out there. And they're 27-23, which would put you in the 3 seed right now in the West. Yeah. So, have you seen a shift in the league? We'll see. As long as the Nuggets are numero uno, I'm fine. I'm cool with it.
Well, it may be that it's just tougher games being. I know somebody would argue with me, on this, but it may be just tougher games being played on the West. That's why the teams are kind of even.
Yeah. Well, I was saying that if you think about the West right now, then basically the teams that were the top teams last year have flipped, and the teams that were not in the playoffs or were like bubble are actually ahead now. So you're gonna be a Nuggets potentially playing a Golden State in the first round or playing
you don't want that.
Who else could we potentially play? Like a Utah in the first round or a Suns in the first round. When most of the times those would be the 2 or 3 teams in the West. And I think that's the same with the Kings. If they Kings stay there, they may get bounced in the first round by a 7 seed or a 6 seed. Yeah, Mavericks.
That's why I kind of brought them up. I kind of want Golden State to go on a run. I want Golden State to get out of the play-in. Really? Get them to the 6-5.
Into the
get up there. Of the lottery. So we see them. The Nuggets see them first or second. Second or third round. Mm-hmm. Fingers crossed on that because you don't want to have this type of season, and then you would have home court advantage, and you may be favored. But you don't want to see Golden State first round. That would just take the fun out of everything. Second round, sure. Third round, yeah, of course.
And when we get there, I'll say what I'm going to say, but I'll say it right now. I'm not necessarily afraid of Golden State this year. I mean, I know I know they can shoot.
The first thing that came in my head when you said that was Rudy Tomjanovich's voice. Never underestimate the heart of a champion.
I'm not underestimating them. I'm just hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
And since we're just kind of talking, I think there's a big difference between how a team's playing in a season versus how teams play in a series.
Yeah.
So when it comes to even the Nuggets, we're a great team. Like, the reason we've had success in the playoffs is because we make adjustments. If Golden State's playing basically any team in the West, except maybe the Nuggets and, I don't know, Memphis even has struggles with Golden State. It's gonna be a situation where Golden State's gonna make those adjustments. So it would be fun to knock them out in the first round, but you are rolling the dice with them.
Yeah, no,
playing in the first
I would
round.
prefer not to play them. I get that, but we don't know.
Yeah, to be the best, you gotta be.
I see something interesting, and I'm gonna kind of sound like Mike Malone here for a second.
Yeah, okay.
But this might go back to my point about the paradigm shifting between the East and West. There's only 2 teams in the Western Conference at this current time that have a winning record on the road, and there's one team that has a 500 record, but it's the Nuggets at 12-11.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sacramento Kings at 11-9,
and they're 1-3.
And the Clippers are 500, but that's pretty interesting. That I guess that would show you that when they go out on the road, these teams, you're playing a tougher Eastern Conference now, so it's not give me games anymore.
No.
When you go play the middle tier teams in the East,
no.
So I think that's pretty interesting. But why I said I might sound like Mike Malone here is they're 22-4 at home. They're protecting home court. I know that was a point of interest, a key point of interest coming into the season.
Yeah.
But looking at from here on, we'll just say the All-Star break. We'll just say that's a healthy,
sure.
Breakup of the season. I would love them see them be 5 games over 500 on the road for the rest of the season. That'd be excellent. I know injuries and load management and yada yada yada. Things happen. But I think that'd be a good goal for them because you guys are obviously doing your initial goal, protecting home court. Let's get better on the road and really lock in that 1 seed because that will be helpful for morale and confidence going into the playoffs.
Since everybody's channeling their inner Mike Malone, I'm just going to say is sometimes that defense comes in, and that's what that was one of the other things he said he wanted to do early on, and I think they've started to play that and buy into it, and people who may not know where they were supposed to be now know where they're supposed to be on the court when they're playing with others, and I think that's helping with that.
Yeah, and to that point, and just to go a little bit back into this week's Nuggets, if you think about it, we lost to Thunder, but they only scored 101. The 6-tier defense point.
Exactly.
We beat the Pelicans, and we held them under 100.
Yep.
Then we played the Bucks with all our guys out, and they score 107, and that's in their stadium.
Right, and
for
them, that's
so to
low.
your point, defense has improved for the Nuggets, and even in that stretch, they went from back of the NBA to within the top 10, top 15 of
and
the
why
league.
I'm so proud of them is I think they're doing it just natural. You know how sometimes when you have to try and you're doing it, I think it's becoming natural for them to do it. Mm-hmm. So the more that can develop, because when we got all the way to the Western Conference finals way long time ago, it was because of our defense that got us there. And so that's what's going to get us there. It's
gonna take stellar play from all our guys. Even when that Pelicans game, I'm now escaping me. It was Joker who had that the go ahead bucket, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
It was Joker that had the go ahead bucket. But I remember Jamal was playing well towards the end too. So I didn't know. Yeah, but yeah.
I think Joker's always a good guess.
Joker had the finish that put us up by literally 1 point, and then we played defense and won that game.
Yeah.
Speaking of playing defense and hopefully winning a game, we got a national televised game this weekend against the 76ers, who are a quasi-rival at this point because of
allegedly
the Sinners.
This is rivalry week, and we are playing against who they say is our rival.
Yeah, that's
Joel Embiid.
It's
another one of those Joel Embiid versus Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
I think last year the rivalry was a little stronger because Jokic had 1 MVP and Joel has 0. But now that Joker has 2, it's not even a sense of who's. Obviously, I'm always gonna say Joker's better. So it's not about who's better or worse. But I'm saying as far as Joel is now, it's his. Go win you one. Go win you an MVP. Like the NBA does not want to give the MVP to Joker. Joel Embiid, you've been playing like a baller. Come out and have a good game against Jokic. I don't think they're gonna beat us, but they are playing great basketball. If you go look at the records of the 76ers, they've been playing phenomenal basketball. I think they're second in the East. Yeah. So they're not
similar record.
Yeah, similar record. So
6
it's gonna be
winning streak,
and it's on national TV. It's gonna be a great game. Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
And we are with those middle of the day games. Hopefully we can.
It's a new Nuggets.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna have like Stephen A. and all them broad daylight, just yelling. You know, and this would be a good time to come out and ball out. But I'm also, I don't know, maybe I'm a jaded, number 1 seed Nuggets fan at this point. Like, this game isn't gonna make or break.
No, it's not.
Nothing. You know what I mean?
It's for the fans to see 2 of the best big men play against each other.
Because last season I felt like the MVP was on the line.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And it was.
It was. That's what I was kind of saying.
It was kind of like it was like when they went there to Philadelphia and he had that little floater over Embiid. And that was like he might as well had won the MVP on that shot. Yeah. And I think the voters who were kind of leaning Embiid or they're on the fence, they shifted they moved. And then the ones who were like with Joker, that was the cement.
Yeah. We told you so.
This one more is like you said, it's more the entertainment value. Yeah. If the Nuggets lose, whatever, Yeah. I guess I don't have that much of a deep connection this season. But here's the thing. I always want the Nuggets to win, and I always want them to beat Philadelphia. So go out there and hoop out. And if Joker gives us a 30, 20, and 10 game, please do.
And they're on a 6-game winning streak, the Sixers. So it's time to knock them off.
Yeah, it's time to get them
we got ours knocked off. We need to knock somebody else.
Yeah.
They're a tough team.
It's the principle
of
the NBA.
They're 18-7.
I think.
And we should be well rested.
Yeah, and I was
going
to
say 2 games down.
I was going to say,
two days.
Speaking of rivalries, let's go into not Nuggets because this whole week has been that for the NBA. Every team, and you can argue this, but they were saying the Knicks and Boston are rivals. I'd say the Lakers and Boston is the number 1 in the NBA, but who am I? I'm just a casual NBA watcher. Mm-hmm. But that game was good. I will say that. That Knicks versus Boston game was surprisingly good. And the Knicks came to play. They came to win. They beat them. They beat them yesterday.
They probably was sick of hearing all the
Knicks are a good team.
And RJ Barrett had a huge 3 in the corner to basically ice the game. And the thing that pointed, you can kind of go into this, but Jaylen Brown, that was crazy to see him miss those 2 free throws.
It's unusual for him. Everybody has their moments, and I'm sure he would want it back. And we're going to talk about this a little later, about who we think should be in the All-Star game. But, I don't think that hurt his chances at all. I just think they know him. It happens, and it happened, unfortunately, last night.
Yeah, I forget who was talking. It was Julius Randle. He said it was really – he's like, we didn't expect that to happen. It's really random. He's a great player, And then I think sometimes you have those moments.
Maybe he wasn't focused enough or whatever.
And you could tell just as soon as that second one came off, his shooting process was off. Yeah, you could see it the moment he took the shot, it was off. But yeah, that was one great rivalry game. The other one that was really good was Golden State and Memphis. That was the night before.
Thank you, Golden State. That was helpful.
That was a huge game.
I told you, I'm rooting for Golden State. I want them to.
Come on
up.
Ladder,
yeah. Well, I don't want them to hang around 7-8.
No, but we wanted them. We as a Nuggets fan, Nuggets fan, wanted them to get Memphis because that was just to make sure, in my mind, that the math is right to get Mike Malone.
And to be fair, that technically is my favorite rivalry in the NBA right now. I know Boston and the Lakers are the historical favorite, but this one's my favorite because you just see Golden State as the team, and Memphis just thinking that they somehow jumped the Nuggets. Thought they jumped Phoenix. They think they've jumped everybody in their mind. And every time they play, Golden State just has to humble them. Yeah. So every time it's a humbling.
I like the confidence, but sometimes confidence becomes arrogance. Yeah. And Memphis does a good job of leaning on that line. And I'd push back. My favorite rivalry is either Boston Nets or Milwaukee Nets right now. because I've seen it. I've seen them in the playoffs. I've seen Kevin Durant's foot on the line. Like,
yeah,
that's just more.
They played in the playoffs too.
Yeah, they did. But I think that just has more substance value right now.
This was a media saying.
No, I think it's a good. I was just going back at college.
The reason I think it became a rivalry is because when Dylan Brooks went up for that layup in the playoffs and he fell, and then they were fighting, and then they were talking, and then you get T. Morant, his dad's coming in. I mean, John Morant, but his name is T. Morant. Mm-hmm. T. Morant's chirping on the sidelines. It just has all the ingredients for. We don't like y'all, and you don't like us.
I think it's a rivalry. It's a good old fashioned
That's my
hate,
personal favorite,
sure.
But I'm open for
and like you said, they played in the playoffs. I think anytime you play in the playoffs, that's the stamp.
You don't like each other. We don't like Portland. I'm not a big fan of Portland.
Clay was rolling.
And I'm not a fan of the Lakers.
Good night, so.
And then Curry got ejected from that game. The classic Game 6. When Curry takes out the mouthpiece. Throws it, instant ejection, and it didn't really matter because Clay hit a big three, and then Jordan Poole hits a game winner with layup. Yeah. We can go, and then this is more so than Lakers versus Clippers because again, you can argue is that a great rivalry or not? LA. But I will say LeBron is on that way. He's very close to passing Kareem. So what do you think about? Just LeBron passing Kareem? Any idea or any?
I think if you are at his age in the NBA playing at the level he's playing at, get on it. I think that's wonderful. I mean, Kareem, records are meant to be broken. They just are. They don't last forever, and somebody's going to come and find a way to get past whatever that record is. And here comes LeBron, and I think I'm proud of him.
Yeah, it might be kind of a rubbery take here. I think Kareem played a lot with his back to the basket. He made a lot of twos. The advent of the three-pointer really has helped Bron's game. But it's also a testament to Bron that he really started to stretch his game. I remember it was like his first or second season in Miami where he started to add that three-point game, started to pull back a little bit and start hitting those with consistency. And I still to this day, I mean, there might be some other players in there that kind of touched with this, but like LeBron in 2012 still might be one of the best players I've ever seen in my life. He just could not do anything wrong. Remember they went on like a 28 game winning streak. Dude, like they won like 66 games. Like he was deity at that point. And I think one of the things about Bron that's really cool is that he got the crown put on him at such an early age. Yep. This is the chosen one. He tatted it on him. Yeah. Like in the fact that you lived up to it, you'll be probably top 5 in assists, rebounds, and points, number 1 in points. People want to do the Jordan comparison thing. Like, I don't think that it's obviously as soon as Bron lost his first finals, the Jordan people had a point that they could just hammer home. But Bron, you can't sit here and tell me he's not either the second best or the third best player ever played or pick up a basketball. And the fact that he's done it for as long as he's done it, at the level he's done it, he's still 38 and still looks like he's 28 or 18. You know what I mean? So he's LeBron James. I mean, it's kind of hard.
He's just etched in stone right there.
The only people that hate on LeBron James are haters. So it's like I'm not one of them. Yeah. I'm also not like a LeBron rider or anything. But it's like I think he is what he is. He's rated. I give him his props. And I appreciate him, and I'm happy I got to watch him play.
Yes.
What else is there to say? I mean, I want him to pass Kareem.
I saw both. I saw Michael Jordan, and I've now seen LeBron, and they're great. I mean, we all have this thing that we have to, put them in order and do all this, but they're both. It was a joy to see them both.
Only thing I'd add to this is that I think every generation has their GOAT. The person that they look up and appreciate. So there was a Jordan GOAT era where people are like, that's my GOAT. Yeah. Then there's that Kobe era. People is like, that's my GOAT. Yeah. Me being being where I've come from, I was like, LeBron is. I've seen him play. I've seen him score his first bucket. Yeah. I've seen him go against Carmelo Anthony, and they went against each other, and they both played 40. They both scored 40 points in a rookie game. Wasn't it a rookie year that they? I think we went to that game, didn't we?
Yeah, probably.
LeBron versus Carmelo, like rookie year or something. They both went for like 40 points.
Yeah.
So I've seen LeBron say When he was going at Dallas, when he was saying y'all can make fun of me for losing, but you gotta go back to what you know. So I've seen the whole lifestyle of LeBron as a player, and then as a humanitarian, and he's just a well-to-do person. So congratulations to him, and congratulations to Kareem, because Kareem's held that record and been who he is for so long.
For 40 years. Yeah, you had it for, like you said, records are meant to be broken. Yeah. But when you set the bar so high that I think Bron was even born when it got set. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think it's a tip of a hat. And why we're on the topic, I know we're about to move on, but I don't think Kareem gets enough GOAT conversation talk either, because he's got 6 MVPs, he's got 6 trophies. He had until Bron, he still has it. Mm-hmm. The highest scoring total of all time. He's got the most recognizable shot of all time. You know what I mean? They literally said you cannot dunk, and they outlawed dunking in college to stop him. Yeah. So I think, he's probably rated. I bet anybody and maybe that would say Kareem is rated. We just don't talk about him enough for me. And maybe that's because he played his entire career before the internet was created. The World Wide Web was created. So it's like, it gets lost in translation, and his game is not as flashy as the others. So, but come on. He's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
And I think that's why Kareem has maybe that little animosity towards Bron, because at the end of the day, that is his record. That is his record. That's what he's going to be known for. So maybe there's the sense of like, I don't want to give it up.
Forgotten?
Maybe.
Are you saying he's like the baby who's now the parents are now having a younger child?
I'm just saying, if we're leaving him out of the GOAT conversation already, now when you go say who leads NBA in points, it used to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now you're gonna say LeBron James.
Here's the news flash.
That's a fair point.
You live long enough, it happens to you. Yeah. I mean, people get displaced all kinds of places all the time. And here we are with this situation, but I still say they're both phenomenal. I'm happy for them. Yeah. Congratulations.
It's kind of like Wilt and Jokic now. Like Jokic is doing like all these astronomical things, and it's like it hasn't been done since Wilt. You know what I mean? And then who was it? Someone did something recently, and it just made me smile because it was like he's the first person. The only people that do that is Wilt and Jokic, and I'm like, that's dope, because now Jokic is like the only person that's kind of like in that conversation with Wilt and some of these like astronomical stats.
Well, I think it's good that we're talking about All-Stars, because at the end of the day, like we just saw the All-Star selection, right? Both those guys we're talking about. Yeah. I think they have both over 14 All-Star appearances. But Joker is now he's made his 5th All-Star appearance. His third, I think it's his 3rd straight as a starter. Then you have other people from the West that made it, where LeBron got the highest votes. He's going to be picking the teams.
So, shocker.
Yeah. Nothing to see here. Then you got...
the shocker is that Giannis and KD go back and forth.
That's true. They fight over it. I was going to say, rest for the West, you got Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
And you have Steph. And then the surprise, or the one that people have been the most mad about, I'm on the side of, hey, if you get the fan vote and you get the players' respect, you should be on there. But Zion Williamson is going to be a starter this year.
It's funny to me because this conversation happens every year. It's just kind of like a new person. It props it up. And I stopped getting like super riled up about this like 2005, 2006, 2007, somewhere in there when I was
during the Yao Ming era.
He was going to get on regardless. And Yao Ming was just getting astronomical votes. And I was like, Yao Ming over Shaq. I used to get so upset about that. And then it just like occurred to me, it's a popularity contest. Mm-hmm. So yes, people like Zion Williamson. I think he's a great player. I would love it if he played more than 40 games a season. You know what I mean? And I think 40 is pretty high for him. You know what I mean? We were talking about this earlier. It's like the hype for Zion was super high, but then what you see of Zion is so compacted. Yeah. So there's like such a staunch disconnect.
Yeah.
And, maybe you could say I'm a hater for that, but I think he's an excellent talent. I just want to see more of him. I don't think that's hating because I want to see you more. Yeah. And he's just proven to be a little injury prone in the NBA.
But if it wasn't Zion, who is going to be AD?
That's what I said. It's going to be another.
It's going to be AD. It'd be the same kind of
and the same concept. The same concept is it's a popularity contest. Yeah.
But I think Zion's deserving because every time he gets on that court, he does nothing but hoop. You can't tell me when Zion plays
court. That's what we're saying.
I'm just saying when Zion plays, you can't not say he's not in the top 24, 25 players in the NBA. So it is just that. It is.
But is he one of the top 10, pal?
Because this is 10. We're talking.
That's
10.
a fan.
Yeah.
And then I didn't say the East, but Giannis will be picking the for his side of the All-Star. But he can pick anybody. But
yeah,
Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Donovan Mitchell.
Yep.
But I also want.
I'm so happy for Donovan.
Since we are, since this is a Nuggets podcast, I have to say who. AG got to make that.
AG.
Right?
So we're going to the reserves.
I want to go to reserves a little bit. And
right.
Yeah, the starters are submitted.
Starters are submitted. But I'm saying, of those next 7 that get in, and potentially an 8th, if Zion doesn't play, you have to. If the Nuggets are number 1 in the West, you have to put in at least one more.
I think we've been talking about AG. Go back, redo the tape. We've been talking about AG the whole time. Of course, he should be an All-Star.
Yeah.
So I think that's almost a given. Mm-hmm. I know that's terrible. I mean, I don't know how to, I don't bold. I don't do it. But I think that's almost a given that he's going to be it. And Nuggets, yes, should get 2. But can we get Jamal Murray in there too, please?
Yes,
I mean, I don't know. Too. It's just going to take some people falling out and some reshuffling.
And this is what I'll say. So here's who's going to basically going to be the reserves.
Okay.
You got Sabonis. He's going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
You got Marketing. He's going to get in. That's for the front part. And then I'd say AG. So that's the 3, right? Mm-hmm. Then for the guards, you have Damian Lillard hasn't made it. Yeah. He's going to make it. Ja Morant's going to make it.
Say his name.
SGA is going to make it.
Say his name.
SGA is going to make it. And I'd say Clay's going to make it.
Really? So now it becomes all open down there.
But
I mean, I know who they're saying.
That's why I said those are the guys that they're going to put first. And then Jamal would have to get – It's gonna be versus Jamal and Fox.
Yeah, Fox.
It's gonna be Jamal versus Fox, on that extra spot.
Yeah.
I mean, this is blasphemous to say. I don't know if Jamal is an all-star.
I think he is
I
without a doubt.
I understand.
I can't De'Aaron Fox has a better case in my head.
I don't think De'Aaron Fox is.
Just take the Nuggets fandom out for a second.
I think he has. Okay,
De'Aaron Fox
let's go objective. Let's go objective. Did Jamal not win against that game winner with the Portland one?
You did do that.
Did he not drop 30 points this year? At least once or twice.
Multiple.
Has he not carried the Nuggets when Joker's not on the court? When Joker's not on the court.
And Joker hasn't been on the court for whatever reason. So more often than ever in the last.
What game was it? Games. What game was it? Was it the Pelicans game or it was one of those more recent games?
Okay. I think
it was the Timberwolves. It was the Timberwolves. No, before you go, it was the Timberwolves. Joker was in foul trouble.
Yeah.
And Jamal was carrying every time. That was the one on national TV, right? Where Jamal actually just straight up won that game for the Nuggets. Jamal has been an all-star. There's no question about that. It's just you're saying, has De'Aaron Fox been better? I'm just being, and this is where the Nuggets fandom will come in. There is no way in HELL that I think that De'Aaron Fox is a better player than Jamal. And Jamal's proven it on every level that he's a better basketball player.
We don't want to say it, but
that's
I'm going to say
it. Basketball player. It's just this season.
I understand it's this season. And it didn't, I made the mistake to say the Pelicans was in third, but now Sacramento's in third and he plays for Sacramento. I mean, so he isn't the top tier.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough.
I wouldn't be mad if De'Aaron, because he has earned it, but I'm just saying I do think Jamal.
Obviously, I want Jamal.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want Jamal.
So if Zion can't, let's just say this. So after we name all these people, there's still one spot if somebody drops out. And if Zion, because he's been hurt, who knows if he's going to make it or be in the start. I mean, that's what we're saying. Or even be in the game. There may be some wiggle room that Jamal could. That's all. Yeah,
Sabonis is moving up. I think Sabonis or Marketing is going to move up to the starter spot.
Marketing has been balling, bro.
Yeah, the same with Sabonis. Sabonis leads the league in double-doubles.
Yeah, but y'all only named out of the 7, the 5 reserves and the 2 whatever wild cards or whatever they call them. You said Ja.
Yes.
SGA. Sabonis. Marketing. Damian. Right? Clay. You say Clay. So Clay may or may not. And then that other, spot. But if somebody who drops out, there may be another spot. Gotcha. So we are going to be
in the East. I would love to see my guy Jalen Brunson make it.
Are you sure?
He's turned that team into something formidable.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've done that,
before you start from the East, let's just start with the starters, and the one name that's not in that starting, popularity contest or whatever, is who we're going to see on Saturday.
Joel Embiid,
Mr. MVP.
Yeah.
I think Joel.
That's crazy. The MVP didn't start, but it's a popularity contest.
Yes,
I'll say this. Joel Embiid's obviously a starter, but the problem is when you're playing in the East. And it's the positions.
I was gonna say.
Weird position.
When you get 3 points, you get 3 guards.
Cannot play.
Shaq,
it's automatic almost now.
Oh, KD actually might play. He said he might play.
Really?
KD said he might play. He wants to. He said he literally wants to play. But Shaq made a good point. The NBA has completely removed the center position.
Yeah.
So
which goes to the credit of Jokic. If you think about it, Jokic is the back-to-back reigning MVP, and he's a center.
They moved.
I know. I get the point. That's what I'm saying. That should even put him on a higher pedestal. That they've removed the position. And I know he doesn't play like the prototypical center, but the fact is he's a monster, and the team rolls off the center. So I mean. Yes, in both cases, Philadelphia and in Denver, the team moves from the inside out, which is cool in a league that no one else does that.
Yeah, that's true. I think obviously he's gonna make it, but I mean he might even start like as you said if KD can't go.
KD can't go.
And then the last thing, since we're talking All-Star festivities, I want to see my boy Nashon and Christian Braun in that Rising Stars game.
1 second. Did you guys say AG?
Browns.
AG will make it.
Oh yeah,
okay,
we said
we
said.
I just want to say put it on wax one more time. AG, you're an all-star.
Yeah, you're from this microphone. You're an all-star.
Yeah,
you should be there.
But I want to see Bones and Christian Braun in the Rising Star game.
That would be fabulous.
That would be dope.
Because remember how close Bones wasn't to. He almost didn't make it last year.
He didn't make it.
So I think Christian Braun could be on
got hurt and he got on it, and then he took over the game.
Yeah,
he
almost was MVP.
He took the game over. So that performance should automatically come to mind when you're saying who should be on it. So I think, and he's been darn near a 6th man off the bench on a number 1 team in the West.
CB getting it would be really cool.
I think what aids both the Jamal conversation, the AG conversation, the CB conversation, and Rising Stars. Because I want to say it. I mean, I'll say it. I'll speak it. Bones is slam dunking that. Bones is in that. Bones is in that. The CB, AG a little bit. Because you're the 1 seed, they're gonna be like, okay, we gotta put someone else on there. Okay, so AG and then but Maul and CB on their both things is, but when you're aided by being the 1 seed, it's like, come on, like obviously they're a good team, and these are the pivotal players on that team. You can't sit here and tell me you're gonna put some, unless it's like Segan or someone from Houston or someone. You can't have these bottom feeder teams filling out the Rising Star competition when you guys, I'm gonna say it point blank, y'all are trash. Like you guys are trash. CB's been balling out.
Yeah.
Like I know he's not the flashy, and I know that game's a little bit more flashy. He's more gritty, and like we already mentioned.
He can have flash, he can dunk.
He's got bounce.
Yeah.
Dunked on Giannis this week.
I know it. He needs to be in it too. Mm-hmm. So we shall see.
Giannis tried him. I don't know if it's the complexion thing or whatever.
We want 5. We want CB. We want Bones. We want Jamal, AG, and Joker.
So you want
the coach.
You want the buffet line.
Coach too. We want the buffet
we do,
line.
and we want the coach.
Since we're talking, can I give you 2 extra ones that you made? No, I don't think anybody said. There is a word on the street that if AG makes the All-Star game, he said he'll also participate in the slam dunk.
Well,
that's some good politicking. Right?
It was good politicking, and he needs to win one. If he wins one in Denver jersey, that'd be so cool. And here's another one you may not think about. They said KCP may be in the 3-point contest.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
so, and I know we wanted to get that break, but it seems like the Nuggets may be a big part of the All-Star.
Well, think about it. It's in Utah, so what is that, an hour flight?
Yeah, right.
So you can hop over there.
Mm-hmm.
But those are 2 interesting ones I've heard.
You can hop, they're multi-millionaires. They can hop a P-Jet over the mountains, land, do their thing, and then be back home before dinner.
But we should know all of this.
Next week.
Next time.
Mm-hmm.
Not too far.
But before we go on to the next segment, I don't know if it's a complexion thing or whatever, but Giannis tried my boy CB, and CB boomed on this dude. He really did.
He did.
That's enough said. You guys can watch the video. I'll post it in the show link.
I'm just saying that Giannis shouldn't have been out there anyways.
No, that was a pivotal point in the game right there. And it's steal, boom, boom, boom. He said, "What's up to Giannis?" on his way up and down. Whatever. I'm off it.
Well, I'd say without further ado, I think it's time for the
2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes remaining.
Okay.
And here's an interesting one. I think as he's a 2-time MVP.
Yeah.
He easily could be the 3-time MVP.
Yes.
But this man also is a fly dresser. I think it's his wife picks out his gear,
that's
but
what he said.
so she gets a lot of this credit that we're about to say. But Joker's stepped his outfits up this year.
They're
and I feel like we haven't talked about it, but from the last game with the jacket and the turtleneck to the tight suits, what's it called? Tailored suits.
Is it the suit with
I
the
was going to let y'all take the hat part because the hat part cracks me up every time.
The hats, but Michael Jordan made those, those hats. But he had it on the backwards.
Yeah.
Jokic is rocking the front. It's very like Eastern European swaggy, but it's like I hate saying this word, but he's doing it. He's dripping hard. Like you look at him when he comes in, and he said on TNT when he said, like, when I dress like this, I'm about business. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he's been going to work. He's got his lunch pail every night. To work now. But the thing is, he's been in that bag. He's been in whatever store he's been in. Like he's fleet up. So props to Joke. Prop to his stylist. You're looking good. And if nobody else is noticing, this podcast is the fit check. You passing the fit check, my guy.
Yeah, he is. He definitely is. And so I say after 2 minutes remaining, and you said that,
nothing left
sounds like nothing much more to say.
Well, from one fresh dresser to another fresh podcast, I'd like to say thank you all for tuning in today. This is another episode of the Just Nuggets podcast. I am K. Colley, and thank you all for listening to us today.
Follow us on Twitter at Just Nuggets Pod. Email us, do whatever. Get in contact. If you want to, learn more about where we are, come see us at a Nuggets game, whatever it is. Check the show notes too, because that video is going to be in there.
Follow us on Twitter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Take care.
Take care.